Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, Boomer and I are out on a rainy, misty day up on top of a mountain with a very unique hammock setup for this evening. So we found ourselves nestled in these spruce trees just off to the trail, and there is ample amount of room to call this home for the night. There's also a very generous wind block. Boomer is a little tired, he's worn out, he's a little bit wet and getting almost cranky, so we're gonna let him settle in here on this nice pad, keep dry and warm. We've got the sleeping bag, everything loaded inside of the hammock, ready to go. So it is time for a coffee. Let's get started on one. All right, guys, I've got my hot cup of coffee on the go right now, hunkering underneath the tarp. The rain is starting to come down, not extremely heavy, but very, very steady. And everything out there is getting totally soaking wet. Super happy I brought a very large tarp and a nice hammock system to get up off this ground. So the hammock I have with me today is a flat lay hammock system with an insulated pad inside. Once I get that zip shut, I'll basically be inside of a tent hanging in the trees essentially. Loads of room up there for gear storage as well. And I can come out here on this dry area, do my cooking, do whatever I need to do out here, and jump in and go to bed. So very comfortable. I've got a beautiful view right now of this mountainous terrain with all these tiny little spruce trees popping up all over the place. It's misty, it's foggy, it's windy, and it is brisk and cold, guys. So cheers, hot coffee on the go. Let's take a break and enjoy a little bit of this. All right, guys, jumping inside of the hammock just to take a little bit of a lazy afternoon break. And I gotta say, definitely comfortable. So the winds are starting to pick up. I've got the tarp lifted in such a way that I can still see out no problem. But later this evening, I'm gonna drop it down to the ground because the wind is pushing in this way. The bottom on the ground is getting wet, but the hammock is not. So it'll help keep all the gear nice and dry later on this evening. But I gotta say, this is definitely cozy and comfortable up here in the hammock. Boomer is still down on the ground behind the hammock for some reason, acting like a weirdo. He's just chilling out, curled up in a ball, licking the little raindrops off the pine trees and just kind of chilling out. He's doing his thing, so I'm gonna leave him alone. But just wanted to jump in here, have a little bit of a rest. Definitely, like I said, comfortable. So this is gonna work out no problem tonight. Get all my gear put away out of the wind and keep an eye out for moose because I am in moose territory and there is a ton of sign around here of moose tracks and droppings. So with all that said, I'm gonna relax just for a few moments, and it is almost getting to that time to start cooking some supper and get everything tidied up and hunkered in for the night. So I'm gonna relax for a bit and then I'll catch up with you in just a few moments. All right, guys, our afternoon hammock nap is over and the winds are picking up, the rain is picking up, and the temperatures have dropped so much that I actually have to put a jacket on. Got my rain jacket hanging inside. I'm not going to be bumping around outside too much, but I definitely need another insulative layer. Boomer is quite chilly as well, so he's starting to kind of start his cuddle thing where he likes to rub up against me and just kind of linger or wander around. So he's going to do his thing. He already had his supper, and I've got to turn my attention to cooking my supper. So I'm doing something very simple, just a noodle dish, some fresh vegetables, get them all cut up, get them on the alcohol stove, heat everything up, and enjoy it, and hopefully stay a little bit warmer because, like I said, it's getting cold. So a little bit of a cleanup here, organize, and then start cooking some supper. All right, guys, it's pushing into the evening now, and it is getting unbearably cold out here. Boomer's shivering and shaking. He still wants to play, but he is very, very cold, and I'm also getting very cold. My feet are totally soaked. The bottom of my pants are wet. My shoes are wet. It's not going to be a fun time in the morning. I know that for sure, but we're going to have a good night anyway. So the spreader bar at the head end and the foot end, I'm going to utilize to hang all of my wet gear. My rain jacket's already in there. This puff jacket's gonna get hung up. My shoes are gonna get hung up, and that'll basically get it up in the air to air dry throughout the evening. So hopefully my stuff will be a little bit drier in the morning. But this little guy is cold, I'm cold. I'm gonna jump in the hammock right now, get nice and warm, and relax and enjoy this beautiful view. It is still raining, and the trees are still just super vibrant, popping with green with this overcast. So definitely enjoying this. I'm gonna get inside and I'll see you guys in there. All right, guys, jumping in the hammock now. I can already feel the warmth starting to build underneath of me. In the pad, I am dying to get out of these clothes and get nice and warm. Boomer had just jumped out for a bathroom break, so he's ready to come back inside. Gonna get him in, warmed up, get all changed out of this wet clothing, hang everything inside so it'll dry later on this evening like I was mentioning earlier. And that's basically it for us for tonight, guys. I am beat, I am soaked, I'm cold, and I just want to zip this mess shut and go to sleep. So, good night, everybody. I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning for some hot coffee. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, wet, misty, cloudy morning out here today. Day 3 up here on this mountaintop, and we'll talk more about that in just a few moments, but this is day 3 and it is still wet, but it's not pouring with rain. You guys can see the tarp is quite wet. It is a super fine mist right now that does accumulate quickly, but keeping sheltered underneath the tarp, keeping all the gear towards the back, everything's nice and dry. So last night was very, very comfortable in the hammock. Sleeping bag was warm, pad was comfortable, no worries there. This morning, Boomer's up, wandering around, chewing on some sticks. We're sharing some oatmeal this morning. We've got oatmeal, strawberries, cranberries, coconut, granola, all kinds of good stuff in here. Hot cup of coffee on the go, and definitely a beautiful scenery. So, waking up early this morning, just wanted to say good morning and cheers to coffee. Finish up this oatmeal, and then we'll get more into that discussion on day number 3. So good morning, everybody. Cheers. All right, so just finished up some oatmeal. Definitely delicious this morning. I usually don't film breakfast. I usually do it rather quickly. But today, hunkered underneath the tarp, might as well make some content of it. We'll let Boomer lick that out here. He'll finish that off. Get the spoon out of there though. So let's talk about day number 3. Boomer, coming up here. So on this particular adventure, my wife and son Orion, who was 4 months old, decided that we were going to do an overland style trip. However, I was going to go off and do my own thing, and they were basically going to stay at the base camp. So we did end up filming a short video showing our base camp, what we brought for vehicles, living situation for Orion and her, and I highly recommend going over and checking that video out. It will either be uploaded before or just after this video, so head on over to the playlist of the channel, have a look there. If I remember, I'll put it in the pinned comment section and in the description as well. But basically what we decided to do was come up with 2 vehicles. We brought the van, which is some upgrades to it, so definitely check that out. And we brought the Jeep, which also has plenty of upgrades. And basically they're base camped far away from here. So what we've been doing is we parked both vehicles. Kendra and Orion are going to live there, camp there, get a feel for the vehicle with the baby. I'm going to hike out with different loadouts. So today I brought a hammock with me, obviously, and I'm quite a ways away from the vehicle, so I have to hike back there today and basically resupply, get cleaned up, say hi to the family, spend an hour or so with them, and then grab a backpack, repack it, and then head back out in a different direction towards wherever I want to explore. So that's how we're doing these 4 days. So this is day number 3. We're going to be doing another day, another night together, and then, or up here I should say, and then the final night we're going to spend together cleaning up, getting everything situated, and then head off this mountain back home. So just to bring you guys up to speed with how Kendra and Orion are doing, they're doing very, very well. We have been getting out a lot off camera together. And we are planning a big trip this summer, just like we did last summer when we went to Newfoundland for, I believe, 10 days. There's a whole video playlist on that as well. Check it out. But we're going to be planning another very large trip, and we want to get a feel for the vehicle because we're toying with bringing the van, but we're not too sure yet. So that is what is going on today. So check out the base camp video, check out the playlist on Newfoundland, and of course, watch the end of this video. So I'm going to finish up my coffee, and then like I said, I do have to hike back to the van and get situated there, so I do have to pack all this stuff up. A little bit of a hike ahead of me, get back there, unpack everything, spend some time, repack, and carry on the day with another video. So cheers guys, let's finish up this hot coffee. All right, guys, that is everything totally packed up inside of the bag. Boomer's ready to go, I'm ready to go, and here comes a wall of mist and rain. So, right on time, everything loaded in the bag. Time to get out of here and start on the next adventure. So peace out, guys. Catch you in the next one.